Thank you all for being here today. I am humbled to stand before you and announce my candidacy for Washoe County Sheriff. Let me begin by sharing my experience and qualifications that make me the most qualified candidate to run one of the most important law enforcement positions in Washoe County. I have been in law enforcement in Washoe County for 26 years. I retired from the Washoe County Sheriff's Office 2 years ago. Throughout my tenure, I held numerous positions within the Washoe County Sheriff's Office in both detention and patrol. I have served as a DARE officer, drug abuse resistance education, a GREAT officer, gang resistance education and training. I was one of the first CLO, community liaison officers in Washoe County. I am a Department of Justice certified auditor for PREA, the Prison Rape Elimination Act. I am a certified jail manager. I have been employed in the past as a mental health technician. I am currently on the executive board of NAMI Nevada, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, where I am the Education Committee Chair. I was a founding member and regularly attend the NNBHC, the Northern Nevada Behavioral Health Coalition. I am currently program manager of the Wandering Prevention Program that serves individuals with Alzheimer's, dementia, and children with autism that have the potential to wander from their caregivers. I am also the Zone 1A Chair and President of the Reno Cigar Lions Club. I am an experienced educator. I have instructed courses at the American Jail Association, national conferences, Tennessee Correctional Institute, Texas Jail Association, California Bail Agents Association, Professional Bail Agents of the United States, Humboldt County Sheriff's Office, Washoe County Sheriff's Office, Texas Jail Nurse Association, and the California Corrections Association. And there's more. Suffice it to say, I'm qualified. I was recently asked, why am I coming out of retirement to become the next sheriff of Washoe County? I have to. People are suffering. People are dying, and we can make a difference. Our community and our country is in crisis. The number of inmates that are currently housed in the Washoe County Detention Facility that are either drug and alcohol addicted or suffer from mental health problems or a combination of these issues, referred to as co-occurring disorders, is staggering. We cannot arrest our way out of these problems. If we want to put an end to this cycle, we must start at the very root. I have recently been working closely with the creators of a program in Northern Nevada called Crossroads. What I witnessed was a collective team of our community working hand in hand with the Department of Alternative Sentencing and the judicial system. Together they created a model for the rest of our nation. What started off as a trial to see if they could reduce the cost of arrests and incarceration of serial inebriates, or as we refer to them as super utilizers, of our law enforcement, detention, EMS, fire and ambulance, hospitals, has now grown into a program that houses 136 men and women. The waiting list to get in is over 100, which is unacceptable. The program includes wraparound services like mental health, anger management, drug and alcohol recovery programs, and job placement, all supervised by the Department of Alternative Sentencing and Community Court. With twice daily breath testing and random drug screening up to 4 times a week. This is not only the humane way to treat people that suffer from these issues. What I saw was, for the first time, we are getting ahead of crime before crime is committed. These individuals are not only returning to society as tax-paying citizens, they are not committing crimes while they're in these programs. The funding for this program is primarily community supported, largely by the generosity of the Catholic Charities of Northern Nevada. Crossroads has reduced the inmate bed days of individuals enrolled in the program by 100,000 bed days a year. Housing in the jail costs taxpayers $126 per day, and you can double that or even triple that if they suffer from drug, alcohol, or mental health problems. At $126 per day, that is a savings of over $12.6 million a year. Add to that the reduction of fire, police, EMS, and hospitals, the total savings to taxpayer is closer to $20 million annually. As sheriff, I will double down on programs like these. My goal is to increase the total savings to $60 million a year. Ultimately, many of these programs will self-fund by the savings on detention of inmates alone. We all have heard the adage that law enforcement is to protect and to serve. To protect is reactionary. It is to respond to a crime that has already been committed. What I want to talk about is to serve. At the top of my agenda is forming more community-based programs like Crossroads, called CAP, Community Action Partnerships. They're called CAP programs. I'm not waiting until my first day in office to start these teams. My work begins today. I am calling on professionals, the press, and the citizens of Washoe County to join these teams. The people that have asked questions like, why wouldn't they try it this way? Or, when are they going to ask us what we can do? Those are the people that we want to serve our community as partners. As the next sheriff of Washoe County, I will take every action possible to enact these programs as long as they are not illegal or immoral. I want people that not only think outside the box, but are willing to join me in throwing the box away. Law enforcement for decades has been limited by the constraints of government bureaucracy, budgets, and their cuts. These programs will fall outside of those constraints as they will rely on support and funding from our community. Seed money and cooperation of law enforcement is essential to these programs. As Washoe County Sheriff, I will join with the community to make this a reality. Washoe County, if predictions are correct, is about to have a population explosion. Unless we are prepared to double the size of our detention facility, we must take immediate action. The next item on my agenda is the Ground Zero Initiative. I want to create a housing unit within the detention facility that identifies people that are ready for a change in their life. We will begin at Ground Zero and insert the programs that complement programs like Crossroads to create a warm handoff of these programs after release. This method is called the Sequential Intercept model. You can read about all of these programs on my website, hopkinsforsheriff.com. In a nutshell, there are times in an individual's life that we can insert ourselves that can make a difference. Incarceration is one, and I intend on sharing this model within our community so that our citizens can help identify these opportunities and direct people into the programs that our CAP teams create. These programs combine the incarceration process with a balance of integrity and compassion designed to address an individual's addiction before it leads to repetitive crime, thoroughly guiding the succession of one's recovery. Individuals in treatment have a team of supporters behind them until they are ready to reintegrate back into society. This directly ties into my recidivism reduction agenda. Again, you can read more about these programs on my website. Another of my priorities is preventing in-custody fatalities in the Washoe County Detention Center. This is also outlined on my website. In closing, I want our community to know I will not engage in a negative politically charged race. I personally have always been offended by these actions. With all the conversations over anti-bullying in today's society, I am put off by anyone that would engage in this type of behavior. My actions today are consistent with the actions you can count on as your next Washoe County Sheriff. You are electing one of the highest law enforcement positions in our county. You deserve better. There is better. Me. This administration under my lead will be the most transparent our community has ever witnessed. I ask the press and welcome them to join me in creating these CAP teams and reporting their progress to our community. I ask each member of the press to read the page on my website dedicated to the press. Every aspect of my career has given me a piece of a puzzle. I now have all the pieces. As Washoe County Sheriff, I will have the resources I need to finally put it all together. I will be forging a new path. This is not campaign rhetoric. This is a new way of seeing, a new way of thinking, a new way of acting, and a new way of being. Thank you for electing me as the next Washoe County Sheriff.